So, I guess Solo, a Star Wars story about Han Solo, is just okay. Fine. Enough already. So, in the beginning of this, all was saying that Solo's going to be bad. It's going to be horrible. It ends up just being fine. And, okay, it's not even, the greatest. It's not even the greatest thing of this year. But it's just okay. That's all it is. There's been rumors about, rumors behind the scenes that say that Olin Airwright is just bad. I don't. It just seems average to me. It just or just acting. It's not like Disney Channel bad, even though it's a Disney property. It's just it's okay. I'm not that much of an expert, but on acting, but it seems pretty decent. Also, I do have some problems with some certain things. Why is this in here like that? So the color palette of this movie does look like Rogue One, and also with the prequels now, new prequels, not old ones. I have been beginning to like them lesser than the number ones or the Roman numeral ones, like episode ones, whatever you want to call them. Like with Rogue One, that over time that went down for me because I do kind of regret putting Rogue One on my 2016 top 10 list now. I kind of still want to put it on, but I want to put it on lower. I put it at number 2. But yeah, the new prequel Star Wars movies for me, it's just it doesn't really do that for me now. The color palette and the stories are just okay, it has this. Now I know. So let's just get into the story now. So we see Han in the beginning of the movie, wanting to run away with his girlfriend Kira. Him and his girlfriend Kira wanting to run away from this crime syndicate that they're part of, and he has this hyperfuel that can get out of here because it's worth a lot of money in the galaxy. And this crime syndicate is run by this slug lady named Lady Proxima, and he do get away. She doesn't like that and sends her people after them. So then they go to the spaceport and they go to the ticket holder because, well, first of all, they don't have tickets, but they do have the hyperfuel that is worth a lot of money. They bribe the ticket holder, but only Han gets through the spaceport, and Kira gets captured because the people of Lady Proxima come together. Also, that special dice that he always has, in the beginning of the movie, and also in the Last Jedi, he gives it to her for luck. So I do like their music when they're together. I think I heard that John Williams was supposed to write a Han Solo theme, which I don't understand. I thought the Millennium Falcon theme song or theme was supposed to be Han Solo's theme. Dun 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 dun. Isn't that one his theme? Or I could be wrong. And that was just a little thing that was like what when I was hearing about it. I know the composer is a different composer for this movie. I think it's the same one for Rogue One. So as I said, they do get separated, and then after when he gets separated, he can't be with her right now, or they'll see each other in the future. So he ends up joining the Imperial Flight Academy. Also, we get to hear the Imperial March, but in here it's a redone version that was for Rebels called Glory to the Empire, which is pretty cool to actually hear in the movie. And now the normies know that it exists, like other things that's going to happen later on. And then this is where we get the name of Han Solo. When I was sitting there, it's just when the registration officer had what's your name, what's your people. Just I was just say something oh. I was thinking you are Solo person right now. Just say it, say something, and then it felt like a weird goof or a gag. It makes me think of was this the Lord and Chris Miller thing? Was it? Because this seems that they would do something like this because you know how they're all meta and they're with their movies, and I know the 21 Jump Street movies are very meta, but I don't think the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball movies are that meta. I know with weird jokes like that about the way they structure their movies, here's this, ha ha ha. I like those movies, but it makes me think what was what, who was who. Still, there were plenty of reshoots when Ron Howard took over. It just comes off silly. George Lucas, he was making when he was making the names, it was all just silly puns. With Princess Leia, it has to sound like Princess Leia Organa. It has to sound very royalty. Luke Skywalker, it has to be very heroic, kind of. And Han Solo has to be that loner type. That's what it was. It was supposed to be epic hero quest adventure names. In the beginning. You don't have to set up some things for everybody. He said something about his father, about how his father makes ships like this, the old like Millennium Falcon ships. So he didn't have a name before that, or does he forget his name? They could have gave him a name already and not really dabble in that situation. I have a problem with that, and everyone else has a problem with that. It's just like, why? I guess he just kept it as like a name, even though he's not Solo because he has Chewie. So Solo was in the Flight Academy, but he got kicked out for disobeying orders. I guess he's a bit of a rebel, if you might will call him that now, or in future. So he becomes a mud trooper later, but I wish we saw a little bit more of him being like a fighter pilot in the academy. Maybe just a little bit, but we do. Oh, I guess the mud trooper stuff is okay. He's just a stormtrooper, basically, but it's a mud trooper that's dirty. So when he's a mud trooper, he gets to meet this guy Beckett, who's a smuggler, who's just posing as a stormtrooper because he wants to steal this fuel that the Empire has. He's trying to talk to Beckett about like Beckett, so he finds him annoying. He doesn't want him to join his crew, but then Han just like says like, if you don't let me join you, I'll expose you to the Empire. But yeah, he's like a smart kid. Beckett ends up exposing him to the Empire, saying that he's a stowaway or a deserter, and well, they believe him more because he's older than him and he's just a silly boy kid. This version of Han, he seems a very bit optimistic and hopeful, like Luke Skywalker, but he's also very snarky, like not snarky like older Han Solo. He's snarky like Eric Foreman from that '70s show. Very odd. It's like Luke Skywalker plus Eric Foreman equals Han Solo, or at least this version of Han Solo, which is weird. This is in my mind. He's hopeful with Kira, and he's very snarky with the Beckett, and later on with the crime people, whatever, Dryden Voss. So he gets thrown in with the Beast, and the Beast ends up being Chewbacca. He said that Chewie hasn't eaten in months, so he tries to kill Han. But luckily, Han knows. I think it's called pronounced Sherwick, or I just call it the Wookiee language, Wookin. Yeah, I Google it right now because I was like kind of curious. I was like trying to pronounce it right here. It's Sharirook. That's how you say it. So, anyways, which is very fascinating that he could speak this instead of having like this in a silly cartoon, like in like the Lego one. I think it's pretty cool that you see the other characters besides a Wookiee can speak it. I think it's the hard language to speak or whatever, or no, it's vice versa. The Wookiees are like human language or whatever, English, or their version of English in the Star Wars universe, whatever you call it. So yeah, they work together to escape. Like, so I think he throws him on the bar that was like holding up the where he was. Like, oh, you had to like pretend to fight to actually trick the guards. They just throws Han on the I know this word, but it's not like pillar or whatever you want to call it that holds up the cage part, and then breaks it, and then that's how they escape. And they catch up with Beckett's crew that's stealing a ship, and then one of Beckett's crew members, the monkey-looking guy, also played by John Favreau, says that we could use muscle, like we can use the Wookiee, but not the kid. No one wants Han. Well, he is Han Solo, so he does solo stuff. So I guess that's their life debt that they like sworn a long time ago how he is always around him. So yeah, they joined the crew, and then like it talks about doing a train heist, like that they need this fuel, and this is where we get the handing of the gun that like everyone also complaining about. Like to me, it was it's just a gun. It's a gun. It could not be the same gun or that we see in A New Hope, or it could be a different one. Who really knows? Care or blaster, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, a gun's a gun. It doesn't really care. Or a blaster, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's not a big deal to me. But yeah, so they end up doing this train heist to steal some fuel. So then there's this other group of people, like a group of smugglers or whatever, called Enfys Nest. And the train heist went very fast when I saw it the first time. It just went like that. I had to really pay close attention to the second time I saw it. It just went over my head like, the first time. Like I don't know why. I just wasn't paying attention, even though it's actually really well done. Some of the parts of this heist, the gunfighting of between the back and forth of the troopers, and then there's the fight between Enfys Nest. That's all pretty good. So the heist doesn't go so well. Beckett loses other crew members that he actually likes, and the fuel just explodes. or it gets dropped. So Beckett's pissed off about like losing all this stuff, and he also told that Han. I forgot to mention that he told that Han collecting the fuel was for him and his crew, but really it was a job for his boss, Triton Voss. His boss is gonna probably kill him, whatever, because when we first see him, he's like killing somebody, and Solo's like, hey, let's just try and talk to him and see what he says. So they go there, or his ship comes to him. Is it a flying yacht to space? So, or it's like it's an office building, it's a yacht that can. It's an office building that's in space. It can fly to other planets. That's what it is. And it's parties and everything. Man, Star Wars is weird. Fun. I want an office building that can fly through space. That's what it is. So, when they're there, he sees that Qi'ra is there as well and works for Triton Voss. And they're happy to see each other. Yay, yay, yay. Reunited. So, this is the part where I say that this is where he reminds me of Eric Formel. Everyone was talking to Triton Voss about a new plan, and Qi'ra talks about the Kressel unit where they can. That's where they probably can get more fuel from. Something low profile where the Empire will never know about this. And Triton Voss says, like, oh, we also need a pilot too. And then Solo goes like, you got me. Oh yeah. When I saw that, I was like, that's Eric Foreman right there. I mean, he has the hair almost. The hair that looks like what Eric Foreman in Destiny Show looks like. But they do need a ship, and then this is where we get to see Lando Calrissian, and then so they play the card games to back. Well, the offer up thing, they're like, hey, I win this, you get this. That's what they're doing. And Han actually loses, and also Lando's cheating with the game. He has a card holder up his sleeve. So, yeah, so Solo loses. He thought he could handle it. He thought he can, like, get the upper hand of him, even though Lando cheated. But then Lando sees, like, who that he's Han actually working for, and he gets to meet Beckett, because, Beckett around these parts is quite a famous person about. I think he's also bounty hunter slash smuggler or whatever, something like that. Lando respects him because there was a bounty hunter hunting for him, and Beckett killed that person. I think it's a person that was mentioned in like Clone Wars. One of the bounty hunters. There's a lot of them in there. So yeah, he ended up working with them, but he introduces his droid that has a computer that has one of the best maps in the galaxy. So, and this droid is also very sassy and rude, like all the other droids, but this one seems a bit more sassy and rude, and has a motive to have droid rights. Like, what? You're built. Droids are built to serve us humans and Wookiees and other alien looking likes. Droids don't have rights. You're robots. What? Did you hear that, BB-8? You serve us. He serves us. Actually, I think BB-8's the only one that's not that sassy. Like, R2-D2 is a bit sassy. But he doesn't like C-3PO. Who? C-3PO was weird. Chopper is also like very sassy. There's K2SO that was very sassy, and now there's this droid. But BB-8 seems pretty cool. And also, with the whole entire motive of droid rights, this droid seems like what you would call a SJW. People, you know how people have been calling like Disney SJW stuff? This is their answer, like, hey, we are not SJWs. Because, like, since this droid gets, like, brutally destroyed, I think Disney purposely made that droid so we can see this droid get destroyed, destroy the droid. So we can see this droid get destroyed and say, hey, this is what we think of SJWs. We're not them. So that's my Illuminati conspiracy Disney theory. My conspiracy theories are better than anyone else's. So when we see the Falcon for the first time, it's quite very new. It's very like sleek design to it. It's very weird seeing like an old ship that's been in 5 movies. See an old new ship, or the new ship, or a new ship, which is the fastest damn ship in the galaxy, and have a little escape pod thingy right here as well. And also in this ship that Lando has is a bunch of capes. Seems like a joke that like, Robot Chicken did or something like that, or the Lego cartoons did. That Lando has a cape room, whatever. Was that in Robot Chicken? I watched the Lego cartoons, and they jokingly that Lando has a cape room. I guess he does. So they go to Kessel. They have some agreements to the people of Kessel. So as they go to the Kessel factory, Han and Chewie are disguised as prisoners for Qi'ra, and that's for their trade of the fuel that they need. And as they go into, also Qi'ra gives Han back his dice that he gave her a few years back for luck again. So now he got his lucky dice back. you get the fuel, but then like L3 does some like gets the binders off droid, not binders like or command things to like force droids what to do. But he gets those she gets those off all of the droids. Gets the all the stuff that's on the droid. Says go do whatever you want, and she starts a revolution. And Han and Chewbacca go somewhere else to get the things, to get the fuel stuff. And also there's Wookiees that are slaves, and Han and Chewbacca free them as well. And when they're trying to escape, then this is where we get L3 get brutally destroyed, and Lando goes crazy after her, or ahead of her, because like, well, she has the best map in the galaxy, so wants that map, and the also they hooked that her computer into the ship with a Falcon, so L3 is a part of the ship now. Oh, people have been saying that, like, is this like the sassiness that was in Empire Strikes Back? You know how C-3PO was talking to the ship. What if it's not? If you can put things in a ship, you could take things out of a ship. Take things out, you can put things in, take things out. It doesn't mean, it could be another, like, navigation system. That's what it was, navigation. The best navigation system in the galaxy. Since Lando can't fly, and he doesn't have a droid to help with the co-pilot stuff, Han ends up taking over, and then also Kira co-pilots, but she's not that good about, like, knowing where things are, what to do. And like, actually, Chewbacca knows what to do, and then we finally get them working together. Now that I think about it, I think this is probably my favorite part of the movie, but not the whole entire Kessel Run. That moment, like when Chewbacca gets to sit down next to Han as the co-pilot, that's my thing. Kessel Run, like when they're getting chased by the Imperial stuff, and then there's that giant space squid, whatever it was. It's fine, but I think they do lose that escape pod that's in front of it, whatever it was, or missile. I don't think it's a missile. I think it's a escape pod. I think not a missile. But yeah, there was a black hole in it, and he just throws that escape pod thingy in the black hole, and the space squid just follows it and makes an explosion. Also, before that, he destroyed the Imperial people, or TIE fighters. I only see a little bit of them. The Imperial people were not a major thing, but they did help him get his name. Silly name. And we still don't know how much parsecs, what it means in translation to what number is in translation to regular numbers. I guess it could be around 20 minutes probably, or it's like, again, I think George Lucas just says things not to like expand on it, just to say things. He has these things that he laid out, but I don't think we're supposed to know what they are really. It's just like, just let them be there. It's just like the universe, how it is. I don't think he wants to over-explain things. Like, I know, like, I think The Lord of the Rings and Star Trek explain things really well, but I think George Lucas doesn't really care about explaining things. Like Kessel Run, like 12 parsecs, what it means or whatever. I don't think he really cares. He just says things, makes things up. It's for 12-year-olds. It's not supposed to like know everything, what everything is. I think that's what is in his mind. So they go to this desert planet and to land the Falcon, and the Falcon is this pretty beat up now. It was not its smooth self as it was. And then Lando's pissed about all this because, and Han just puts his shoulder on him like, what a beauty. I did it under 12 parsecs. Then we get I hate you, and I know. Scratch that. That's my favorite part of that movie. I kind of really like that. Not the Han Chewbacca stuff, that. I kind of really like that. So then when on this desert planet, whatever it is called, Enfys Nest shows up, and we thought we were going to have a good old-fashioned showdown, gun showdown, whatever. We don't, and also Lando took it off with the Falcon. And we don't have... Also, he was bragging about, like, how he has a bunch of people in there, and then and they'll just chuck it off. Snap of the finger, I can call my boys out, and they'll shoot at you, and then it just whoosh. That was actually a pretty good comedy part. This part of this movie, it's a little odd, because, like, with the bounty hunter, whatever you call it, Enfys, whatever, just takes off the helmet, this girl, and we thought it was, like, Beckett's daughter, because Beckett's partner, or whatever, was his lover, or his girlfriend or whatever, wife. I thought it was going to be like his child, like against him, because she does look like she's like half black and half white. So, and that was very confusing because I thought it was going to be his child for a second. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be a child. My mom thought too, and my brother as well when we saw it together. So then Enfys Nest explains that, like, hey, this Dryan Vos guy is not that great. We were trying to steal his fuel to help other people out in the galaxy. Dryden Voss is probably working for the Empire, probably. And Beckett's like, no, I don't trust these guys, and you shouldn't trust these guys either. You shouldn't trust anyone in the galaxy. Come with me, and we'll forget all this other stuff behind, and let's leave it. But Han's like, nah. But yeah, Solo wants to help these people, because he also sees that, like, earlier on, he sees that Kira doesn't seem very comfortable being around Dryden Voss, and he wants to get rid of him as well. He wants his girl back, so he ends up helping when Dryden Voss comes, his flying hotel or office building comes by. Flying hotel comes by. So he has fake fuel that he's bringing to Dryden Voss. He shows him the fake fuel. Dryden Voss is like, hey, this is actually pretty good. It looks like the real thing, and he knows that like you're trying to like rip him off or trying to help the other people, trying to help those other smugglers. And the reason why he knows is because Beckett is the one that told him. And Han says like, hey, this is actually the real one. If you actually drop that, it will explode this whole entire building. Also, his people are also at the place where Han left the other people's decoy fuel, but it's not really there. And his people end up getting surrounded. Yeah, it's actually pretty good fakeroo switch out. And then Beckett ends up like pulling a gun on Dryden Voss and everyone else. Like, hey, so since it's the real fuel, or I think it's called coaxium, isn't it? Yeah, coaxium. I think I'm right. Coaxium. So, since it's the real one, Beckett goes like, huh, I can use this. Pulls a gun on all of it, everyone. Gets Chewbacca to help him to carry the coaxium out of there. We do have a fight between Solo and Dryden Voss, but well, Dryden Voss has daggers, and Solo has a gun, and that's long range versus close range. So, that's not to be good for them. At the point, I thought that was not to be good. But, well, he doesn't end up killing Dryden Voss. It was Qi'ra, which I thought was kind of weird. Since Dryden Voss is like the main big baddie of the film, I thought Han will kill him, but nah. And then, so yeah, she ends up killing him, and then she tells Han that, like, hey, you're the good guy, and I know that I can trust you on this, and you should probably go after him. I'll stay here and hold the fort. So, yeah, he goes after Beckett and get his buddy back, and Qi'ra gets Dryden Voss's ring off of him, his dead body, and contacts Darth Maul. Now I don't like this because it's just, I know what happens. Obi-Wan kills him like later down the road. What's the point of having Maul when he just already died in Rebels? I don't really like that. Like, if you're the normal audience that doesn't know anything about the cartoons or the other comic books, which I'm behind on still, it's better for me to watch visual stuff than like read. But besides the point, if you're just a normie and you see that, hey, that guy's alive, he follows the rules of, if you don't see the dead body or whatever, or if he can live, whatever rule, I think it's a rule that my friend made up. If you see somebody killed, but if you don't see the dead body, like, they could be alive. But we did see Maul get cut in half, but like, he showed up in the cartoons, he shows up in the Clone Wars and in Rebels, and then now in this movie with his robot legs, and you see his hilt that he has in the movie is the hilt that he has in Rebels. It's pretty cool to see him to like know that like the normal people that knows that he's alive, but we know that he's gonna die later on. He gets his heart cut into or whatever. I don't like that Maul scene. I really don't. I don't really care. Like, if you know all that other stuff, then you're not gonna care. If you're normally, you're probably like, hey, that's pretty cool. But then us weirdos are going to say that he dies 2 years later, whatever part is supposed to take place at. So Han goes after Beckett, and this is where like that you should always shoot first, kid moment. But he doesn't really say it. Han just does it. Han shot first, and then Han Chewie goes back to the hotel apartment office building. That's when Kira just took it off. Nah, Solo, you don't need her. You have a princess later on. And then Solo goes like to find Lando. He's also very pissed at him. And then he greets him again, sees the card holder and takes it out. And then he actually wins the game of Sabacc. And then yeah, he takes the Falcon, wins the Falcon, takes it off. He takes off to Jabba's place, Tatooine. I was like lost for a minute, like what is it? And that's the movie. And yeah, would I go for a second Solo sequel, whatever? Maybe, just because of how Qi'ra was saying, like, Han, you're the good guy. When we know what Han really is. He's just a scoundrel. He's a rebel. So I only want a sequel to only for him to kill her, and only for Han to say, "Sorry, Dollface, but I'm no good guy. I'm the scoundrel." Something smooth like that. That's the whole entire sequel. 5 minutes of that. Just you go to the theater, watch 10 minutes of previews, and the movie's there, and it's only 5 minutes, and it's that. That's it. That's the movie. That's the entire sequel of my Solo sequel idea. That's my pitch. Get on it, Disney. So, I'm gonna have to give it. It's not the best of things. It's not the worst of things. It's just fine. It's just movie just fine. So it's like a 7/5. Yeah. So it was just fine. Why listen to all these rumors and stuff like and people saying like, oh, SJW. Look at someone sucks now. Like just shut up and just like, oh my god, just shut up and eat your popcorn, eat your drink, your Skittles, whatever you eat at the movie theater. Starburst. Yeah, it's just fine. So, what do you think of this movie? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's just fine, like I do? It's not going on my top 10 list. Also, while I'm at it, I'm gonna give Rogue One a lower score because I think I said it's an 8.5. I'm gonna move it down to 8, and it's not on my at the top 5 part. It's at the top 10 part. Still cannot put it in front of Star Trek. So it's in front of Star Trek, but not behind it. So whatever I said, whatever my top 10 list is from 2016. So as I said, do you hate it? Do you not hate it? What do you think of it? Please leave a comment down below. Give me a like or let us know, and subscribe for more. I've been Matt Bin One, and see you later, moviegoers.